Tonio Burton versus John Jewett. This is your final video from your fan-requested Friday poll. So I do not expect a huge big pile of views for this one if you relate it to the amount of people that voted on it. So you can expect a few little rudimentary zingers in this one to make it a little bit better for you fellers and fellasses. Tonio from the New York Pro, he took fourth. He is qualified. From the Cali Pro, those pitchers suck. Those pitchers suck. I think he's just as good here anyway. New York Pro took third. And John Jewett, this is the Vancouver Pro, where he won. But it will also be worth to look at his Toronto Pro, which I think he didn't win. He placed, what did he place? Third? I think he got third. What, third? So I actually think he might have been better there. It's a different lineup. But what have you. Just another way to make this video a little bit more interesting, entertaining. Us YouTubers, we struggle to make videos that you guys will enjoy. Of course, us bodybuilding nerds like myself, I could never get sick of these comparisons. What do I do when I finish this one? I'll go watch Fernando Arroyo's channel for comparisons. Or maybe Jake's Ultimate Fitness. Might even catch a Superset Man video or two. Wow, John has some bountiful biceps. Massive, if you will. Look at them, guys. They're like Arnold Schwarzenegger peaks. When you look at the midsections, I mean Tonio Burton. He is mint. This is top shelf level physique. And look at the quad sweeps. They go into that little tiny waistline. Now, like I said, guys, John Jewett, I'm not saying anything about the conditioning, but when you look at this version from the Toronto Pro, I think we all can agree that his midsection was much tinier. Was it a better overall package? We'll look at the other shots. Maybe not all of them, but a lot of them, and we're going to decide for ourselves. But surely in the front double, the Vancouver Pro look of John Jewett is giving Tonio Burton a much better fight than he was from the Vancouver, with perhaps more condition, but perhaps also fuller in the midsection. And a front double bicep is very exposing. And Tonio Burton, he has some good arms too. But this Jewett, he has biceps. And I'm sure people always ask him, how do you get those biceps? And he's probably thinking, well, it's genetics, my man. And obviously hard training. Hard training. But I'm sure he has no super duper secret to get those swoops. Same thing with Arnold. He's just born with those big peaks. Lucky. But it is still, I would suggest, in my opinion, a Tonio Burton shot. What about the next front pose? I think the midsection of Tonio Burton, I think it puts him a level ahead of a lot of guys. Minute when you look at the quad sweeps. Now, John Jewett, his overall conditioning could be a little bit better here at the Vancouver. And like I said earlier there, mate, his midsection might have been a smidge bigger here at the Vancouver. Now, here is the Toronto. And I did make a mistake there earlier. You guys know I noticed that. But I just kept going. I was on a roll. I said here at the Vancouver was better than here at the Vancouver, or than he was at the Vancouver. I heard that mistake. And some of you guys did too, and probably think, or you were probably thinking before I made this little explanation, he made a mistake and he didn't even realize. Well, he did. I like the way that John Jewett is executing this front lat spread. And I think it's funny that he's looking over at Tonio, even though Tonio wasn't even there. Tonio wasn't even there at the Toronto. He's probably looking at IFBB Pro Robin Strand, who John was looking at. So yes, you guys wanted to see this one. It appears that Tonio, I mean on paper he's going to beat John Jewett, and it appears that on pitcher comparisons, he's beating him out of the front. Now turn to the side. Could be a different situation here. John, he looks great. Midsection looks tight. He looks full, big, and in the wheel department, hey, I'd give him an edge. I would absolutely give him an edge. He has that hard, grainy nature, and if you look at the far pec, I almost started a song there. Did you guys hear that? Huh. Weird. Yeah, look at the far pec. Very interesting. Well, not interesting, but it's big. Close pec, too. Now, here's why you cannot judge a bodybuilding competition or make decisions like that off one pose, because I said that John Jewett, he was leaner, looked better in the front double, maybe not as full. Well, here in the side chest is the Toronto. He's way better at the Vancouver. So he is fuller. You sacrifice a little tighter midsection, I would suggest, but his wheels were more separated. He was just fuller. When you're fuller like that, all carved up to a T, he can look better, more conditioned. Absolutely. Is he getting Tonio on the side chest? Well, it's close, guys. It is a duel, I should say. Here's a side tricep. Foolishness. I wasn't even going to acknowledge that type of foolishness, that type of behavior. That's what my old boss used to say. I used to work for a living, before I was blessed with this channel, and you fellers and fellasses and fellasines in between, whatever. Yes, very conditioned here at the Vancouver. We do not have a Toronto Pro side tricep. Are you sure? Interesting. I'll look later, and if I can find one, you're all fired. I'm just joking. I love you guys. Not you, my team here working for me. Now we separate the Tonios from the John Jewetts in these back shots. Oh, or maybe we don't. Look at this. Tonio Burton. One of the better backs in the IFBB. And no, I didn't missize it. He stands very tall. Look at him next to a bunch of them. At the New York Pro. He was taller than Nick Walker and Martin Fitzwater, things of that nature. You guys give me a hard time about this sizing of the lat spread. He holds his legs straight, things of that nature he does. But it doesn't matter, does it? Because John Jewett, he's good. He's more than holding his own. In the conditioning department and the back itself. So wowzers. This could be a little bit of a matchup come Olympia time, guys, considering both of these guys are going to that particular event. Interesting. Now, here's the Toronto Pro, and did you see that? Did you notice that? Yes, he's leaner, but the Toronto Pro was before the Vancouver, so he filled up. So he was leaner, and then he filled up. So he lost, or he didn't lose anything. He just didn't have that pop, that wow in the lats. So carb up again, like you did at the Vancouver Jewett. Jewett. Yes. Do it. But Tonio, he is very crisp as well. And a broader back, you're just not going to see for a guy that size. Here's the rear double. And you can see that perfectly etched out rear double by of Tonio Burton. Perfectly symmetrical. Sorry. Awesome. Wouldn't be able to draw a better rear double bicep pose. Looks like a great big bull. But anyway, I think that Jewett is a mountain of ripped muscle. Maybe even more conditioned than Tonio Burton. But you cannot tell by pictures if it looks close. It looks like he's much more separated than Tonio. But is he more conditioned? I guess we'll have to wait and see come Olympia time if this is the package that he's going to bring. Or each of them. Now, Jewett could bring this package, which is not as great. It's good. 3rd place at a pro show? Are you kidding me? It's an incredible physique. But when you see him better at the Vancouver, well, you know for a fact that this is not his best. This is Tonio's best? I think he could nail a little bit better than this, maybe. I don't know. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Here's the abs and thigh. And a takeaway for Tonio. Here's where the aesthetics is going to come into play. You get a guy like John Jewett. He is full as a house here at the Vancouver. And he wasn't hitting the double arm overhead. And in my opinion, everybody's making a big stink about the vacuum, you should really have to hit a double arm overhead. And John did just that. Guess where? At the Toronto Pro, because he was leaner. He may have at the Vancouver, and if you did, John, I'm sorry, big man. I apologize. Great physique, but Tonio, I think the abs much more visible. Waistline, though, I mean, John's doing what he can do. With the V-taper, looks pretty good. Not bad at all. Not too shabs whatsoever. And you go to the final pose in the most muscular. And Jewett, I like this hands on hip. Most muscular that he does. Tonio has a few. He morphs into the other ones. I like his crab. His hands clasped is good. Things of that nature. But Jewett has a real chance of getting a nod in the most muscular against Tonio because he is darn wide. You see him at the Vancouver and the Toronto Pro, he was as wide as a barn. The guy was huge. So at the end of the day, I should have said barn door. That's what Tominator used to say. You guys remember the Tominator? He was good. He was one of the good ones. Fellers, you guys, go give him a couple views. A couple comments. Tell him Mark's Max Muscle sent you. Yes, I'm just joking. Well, not really. Go comment to Mark's Max sent me. Or sent us. Yeah, I'd give Jewett maybe the most muscular. But once Tonio, he gets some momentum behind his little fists of rage once he starts flexing. And he's a positive person, but once those poses, they can be very negative towards his opponents, because they usually end up losing. But Jewett's a different type of creature altogether, who's winning the entire comparison. You know what, guys? It is very, very close. But I believe at this point in time, Tonio will be able to fend off this John Jewett, but do not look past Jewett to someday battle Tonio Burton to submission and defeat him. But I do not think that will happen this year's Olympia. And another thing, guys, nerves can get to people. Tonio Burton is a feller that comes into the Olympia and nails it. He did last year, and he got a darn good placing. And Jewett, well, he won't have too many nerves, considering he's been to the dance. Not the open class dance, but he's been to the dance. Have a great one, guys.